Hello, my loves. So, this masculine energy, this specific energy that's been coming in connected to the masculine who is having some things to face connected to finances and money. This energy, I have to tell you, it's been swirling around for multiple days, and I haven't come on yet because it wasn't getting clear. But I finally had some space to actually sit with it. And what is coming through is this is a very avoidant masculine energy who has used money, finances, work, material world. He has used, or she, depending on your situation, has used these in these survival modes as actual protective mechanisms. And because of the agreements our general collective has made around money and the material world and survival, this has been able to work for this or these masculines for a very long time. But what's coming in is that whatever has been being avoided is now being pushed on really, really hard for this masculine. And even just now, normally, I'm looking right at you, but I'm like working with the sage, and this is the energy. I'm obviously not avoiding because I'm here, but it's like distraction of like literally doing anything else other than actually facing what needs to be faced. But now it's reached this point where there's nowhere left to go, is actually how it feels. It's like it does actually feel like a big part of this is connected to where they're avoiding their own selves. But of course, this many of the feminines may be feeling this because of the shared space, because of the agreement, because of the soul contract, because of the connection. And what I'm picking up is many of the feminines on the other side of this may be also feeling some reframing and refinement around their relationship to money, work, finances in the material world. And what I was seeing this morning was actually for any of you who are resonating with a masculine who is very focused on money in the material world and almost has that like workaholic energy. Um, you may have noticed it during a time on your path. Maybe you're still experiencing some of it since I'm being guided to talk about it, where you're feeling almost the complete opposite. Like, and what I mean by that is if this masculine is good at making money and having a flourishing material world, yet avoids everything emotionally, you may have been focused really intently on the emotions and felt quite unsupported in the financial, monetary realm. But this is where it's really important for the feminines to actually work with money, the material world, and their relationship to it in a way that's balanced and harmonious. And I spoke about this on my most recent member video, where as we're moving into the foundation more clearly, more physically in the new earth energies, in the 5D energies, embodied as we're more embodied in our physical bodies with the new ways of being, while we're still living on a planet that requires money and finances to survive and thrive and function, it's really important for those aware and on this journey to heal their relationship with money and finances in the material world, because it's through that healing of that relationship that it actually can come into harmonious balance, and we can start to move momentum into wealth and money and finances actually moving into heart-centered beings' hands, which is where this will actually start to support the things that we're wanting to see on our planet. Now, I'm saying this in this way because this is just what is present and available as one of our main resources on our planet. Is it the only way? No. Does it have to be the only thing that we focus on or the only thing that comes to fruition? No, not by any means. But it is an important one. And I've been guided through the years to heal my relationship in this area. And the way that this is coming in and the way that it's pushing up on me from the collective, let me know if this is something you all want support on. Because what I'm seeing is, again, where there is that material, monetary, physical world imbalance between the masculine and feminines, but also, where it's not in harmony or healthy for many, right? And whether it's an opposing, opposite um, energies, I do obviously think that there's some of you that are coming into harmony and balance with that. But if you feel like that is an area to shore up, let me know. I think it's a very, very, very important one because it does have such a deep grip on the collective and especially the masculine collective, because so much of the masculine identity has been wrapped up in that provider protector energy. And is it a important beautiful masculine quality? Absolutely. But when it's not in harmony with the other areas of life, it becomes addictive, and it also can become a deep survival mechanism. I have witnessed this more times than I wish. I know people who make a lot of money. I have witnessed people who make $500,000 a year, have millions save, and literally still operate out of survival and fear that they're not going to have enough. So the thing is that people think that it's the money or the things that are going to help them feel secure, but I'm telling you, I have witnessed it again and again where it absolutely almost creates another layer of fear because now people have felt what it feels like to thrive and now they're scared to lose that. And so it's understandable, especially things that we are going through on this planet or that we have been through, but this topic is a hot topic in the collective. It's a hot topic between the counterparts right now, between the feminine and masculines. And since it's been coming up in my member videos, there has been some feedback that this is coming up for quite a few feminines as well. So, again, this is about not going into the old ideas of money and material, but how can we actually open up to working with the resources available here on our planet so that we can build thriving and flourishing lives and health and community and planet, right? At least right now, this is what's in front of us to work with, or at least one of the main resources. So until that changes, it's important that we actually work with our relationship around money, finances, and resources. Anyway, and like I said, this avoidant masculine is coming through quite strong. It's so interesting. It's even like as I'm sitting here, what's coming to me is there's a mirror point with the feminine. It's like where the masculine uses it to avoid the emotions. It feels like there may be for some of you, I'll let you sit with this for yourself, but it's coming through, so I have to share it. For some of you that focus on the emotional and spiritual, wanting to balance the overall connection or energies, right? In because there's the extremes, but what is being asked of is for you to actually part of what will free and help unlock the frozen survival mechanism is by the feminines actually focusing on the physical material world because you have the skill set to bring all of it together. And as you embody into that, as you heal and um, learn to work with money in a nice, harmonious, balanced, loving way, it actually, what I'm seeing is like that starts to shift the masculine's relationship to money because you're no longer holding the opposing energy, right? You're working with everything. So now, if they're supposed to harmonize and balance with you, now their system is being guided to work with all of it. And this is the beauty of simply, again, just focusing on what's in front of you instead of looking to everyone else. You may know as a feminine that your masculine has a strong skill set with finances and material world. So this is one of the gifts of the masculine. So how can you take those gifts that you witnessed within the masculine and start applying it to your own experience? What did you learn from that? I'm not talking about the addiction or the workaholism, but there's still actually a lot of wisdom and gifts with it. It's just the protective mechanisms are also wrapped up in there. And then on the other side, for the masculines, how can you look at the gifts that the feminine have presented with showing you the potential that you can operate in a thriving, heart centered mindset and actually still provide for yourself and your family and balance the material world? Because what's coming in is there's also a lot of humans, a lot of masculines, and there's feminines, of course, who get so caught up in keeping up with the Joneses or having money or having the material world external that they're not actually looking at their health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. Like, how is their relationship health, right? Or their just all the other areas of life. If we're not working with it in balance, everything else suffers. And a lot of time people get into the mindset, well, once I have enough money, then I can do X, Y, and Z. That very rarely works because what we see is people killing themselves trying to make that money. And then by the time they have enough money, they're sick and unwell and aren't enjoying life anyway. So it goes back to that balance of physical, emotional, spiritual health, mental health, right? Family, your home, your environment, your purpose, your job, your career, like balancing free time and enjoyment, right? So this feels really big. It's also very foundational to what is next, right? Because the truth is, the most important commodity that we have is our health. It's our physical well being. Without that, it doesn't matter if we're millionaires, right? So, but then when you look at what they say, your net worth is how much money or material things you have on paper. So we also have all of this subconscious programming running in the background or running through our ancestral lineage, telling us that our worth is based on how much money that we have. Well, babies, your worth has nothing to actually do with that. Your worth is who you are inside of you and who you are as a being. And all of that is just the extra, right? But you deserve to have health and wealth and enjoyment and prosperity and thriving and fun to balance out all of this heaviness that you have been helping to transmute. Would you agree? If you agree with me, give me some hearts in the comments, all right? And some thumbs up, whatever you want, whatever feels good for you. But this is part of like, it's time to let the collective, let the masculines, let the feminines find their harmonious balance. And how can you find yours? Okay. And doing it from your heart is actually where the true prosperity comes from, right? Taking all of those pieces, all of those parts of who you are, and bringing them together. What's coming to me, this is something I've worked with really deeply for myself over the years, is really balancing and harmonizing. I don't, I always try to work on some levels of the whole pie, right? All the pieces of life. But sometimes some go on the back burner while you're learning in others, and that's normal, right? But we go through the transitions where we're like, okay, I'm ready to open back up to new parts. And this is connected with some of that hermit mode energy that the feminines are coming out of. And I'm starting to wonder if that is why now that the feminines are coming back out into the physical world, is this why this is being pressed on for the masculines so hard? Okay, with this long-winded message, I am going to pull some cards for the masculine, and we're going to start there. And let's just see where this wants to go. Many masks, the authentic self. Okay, so this is immediately speaking to me around where, again, some of the things we've touched on, where the physical outer surface level success has become many masks, right? It's what a lot of people may hide behind. It's what the masculines, what I'm seeing and what I feel within this is like the masks become like a hard exterior. It's like the hat and the glasses and the protective gear and the clothing and the labels and the cars and the money and the all of the things. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. I want to be clear with that. In fact, if you're living from your heart, buy yourself whatever you want, enjoy yourself. But it's different when you're not really happy within and you're just putting on the external facets of what is supposed to be showing you're successful, but you're not actually happy inside. And that is what I feel is pushing to the surface. The truth of their being is embodying so much their heart, their true energy is what I'm seeing is actually it's opening from the inside out and pushing the masks aside. It's wow. Like the authenticity that's being embodied by the feminines is literally like in the shared space that is embodying into the masculines from the inside out. I've been talking about this lately where a lot of the feminines like are bringing the energy in from the higher self and the masculines and you can have this both within you no matter how you identify. This just seems to be sort of where the energies are landing more clearly, even like again on your own internal masculine. It's more of like where there was a protective mode and it was frozen inside. So it was like frozen in, and that was the protective mechanism. And now it's thawing from the inside out. So there's multiple ways that we retrieve our soul essence, thawing it out from the inside out and welcoming it back home from wherever it has run to, okay? Or wherever it was frozen or trapped or whatever have you. So I want to see what's happening with this for the masculines. It feels like this is also going into how I said many of the feminines might be like reframing and refining the things that they have been working on. Because as we grow, each step that we grow, each round that we embody more into our true authenticity in the physical, out of hermit mode, it gives us an opportunity to shift our own identity in a way that matches our soul in ways that we've never even met within ourselves. And so it feels like the masculines. Wow. Okay. I'm going to pull. Got it. All right. So we have the judgment. So what did I just say about the energy coming in for the feminines, right? So with this, the fact that I just said that, this feels like where the masculine's inner feminine is coming in. And as that is coming in, it's like pushing on the inner masculine to thaw. And this feels like where the masculine rejected their own feminine qualities at one point. And I get that this can be a tough topic given how our society is, but we can take out the feminine word and literally it's just intuition, creativity, um, things of that nature, softness, emotion, and letting those reintegrate as all of part of the authentic self. Because what I feel underneath the masks for the masculine is still this incredible strength coupled with the softness, balancing all the qualities of who they are is what allows a true divine sacred masculine to step forward in full presence. And that is what I feel as I say this, like that's what's being pushed on. It's almost like rocking the boat. It's like, look at, hey, there's so much more to who you are. And like it's getting uncomfortable in the old masks because the old way of being doesn't actually fit all of their energy and all of who they are. So just their own growth is getting uncomfortable. It's making what was uncomfortable. And as what I'm seeing is as this comes in, as these masks fly off, they're actually able to plant the seeds again and start to um, harvest in a new way. But I feel like it's coming through that the masculines are going to have to start looking at other areas of the life, the things they have been avoiding, if they want the prosperous, balanced, harmonious, happy, loving life, they're going to have to start looking at these other areas. And there's going to be some deeper healing of those defense and protective mechanisms, of the traumas, of the nervous system. Um, what I'm seeing is like where the nervous system survival mode was holding the old things in place. It, it's just getting to the point where it just can't anymore. It's like there's nowhere left to go. All right, what do we have for the feminines with this? Harvest. Gathering of blessings. You see? So it's time on the other side, like as the masculines are going through this monetary financial world distraction, workaholism detox, the feminines are actually stepping into begin harvesting the seeds of heart centered physical world manifestations that they have been planting and nurturing or will be very soon if that's not what's been happening at this point, but is on its way or very much something for the feminines to focus on. And again, this feels healing your relationship with money is a very important part of receiving prosperity. Okay. What's coming through is like where we see so much evil in the world that's connected to money. It can be easy to want to blame money. I mean, we even have sayings like the root of all, it's the root of all evil. Money in it and of itself isn't the root. It's the power that we give it or the power that we feel that we do not have because we don't have it. That's actually the deeper issue. So if there's some struggles around finances or money or prosperity, this is an important topic to address to support all of the other areas of your life because it's a prominent resource. And we want to be open to be able to receive all of the supportive resources we deserve to build and grow what it is we're here to build and grow. Again, it's not just money, but healing that relationship with money can actually open up other avenues to even different resources, relationships, and opportunities. Okay. And I do feel like there's hurt within the feminine system around money. and maybe even feeling abused or disregarded or disrespected in lieu of money, or even feelings that money was more important than the feminine. This could happen for the masculine too, of course, but it's just coming through on a bigger collective energy where the feminines have felt unseen, unheard, unimportant because they don't hold the material world wealth in the same way that the masculine does. And this is another part of what we can work to rebalance to help bring the money, prosperity, and resources into harmonious balance for the feminines, but also humanity. Okay, let's see what we got with the harvest. Wow. Okay. So we have the harvest, we have the Four of Wands, and the Six of Cups. So this feels like as the feminines start to allow themselves to open up deeper to receiving, giving, exchanging, accepting money in all of its forms and obviously in aligned ways, and open up to even receiving money for your services, for your gifts, for your abilities. This, and not that you have to do it all the time. You get where I'm going with this, though. This is actually, again, one of those things that can actually help bring the money and the flow of the money and abundance into harmonious balance on the planet. And what I see with this is where the feminine is maturing the inner masculine, and a mature inner energy to feel comfortable in the material world with money, dealing with finances, dealing with the material world in that balanced, harmonious way. So this isn't about taking those inner energies for masculines and feminines, no matter how you identify, the most potent, powerful thing that you can do with any area of life, but especially with money at this point, is work with all of your abilities, your inner masculine, your inner feminine, your logic, your intuition, all of those tools. Why would we leave any of those off the table? Why would we not want to come with all of our gifts, all of our abilities? They are strengths when we know how to work with them in harmonious balance. But if you're shutting off half of your capabilities, well, you're coming to the table with half a deck. You know, let's let's see what we can grow. Let's mature. Let's be comfortable with all of the areas of life in creating them and building them in a way that actually feels aligned and reflective for the world that we wish to see. We see the imbalance. We see where it's used for not good things. That doesn't mean that's bad. It's like those things, it's like, what are we doing to show the other side of this? How are we taking what's available and transforming it into the beauty, into the harvest for the new earth? All right, my loves. As you can see, I do feel quite passionate about this because, again, when we look at what we're seeing in the world and how things are being handled, there's a sense of responsibility within me to support the process of actually bringing the resources and the wealth and the alignment of the energy on this planet again. How can we support that getting into the hands and the hearts of the people who actually want to see everyone in humanity thriving? Okay, my loves, there you have it. That divine alignment session is available. This is touching in on preparing for these types of energies. So if you're interested in that, you'll find it in the pinned comment. I do have sessions available for next week. I think I have, yes, I have some sessions available. And I look forward to seeing you soon. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your weekend, and I'm sending you so much love. Take care. Peace.